a dance night, and I can't dance. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot she was coming. Come in.
Hey.
Hey, what you been doing?
I finally got all of my homework done.
Yeah, it's exhausting. So, what game do you want to play?
Oh, die! Yes.
No, I told you to wait. I don't even have the right hair color. I'm sorry, I'm particular about this stuff. Okay.
Man, it's like start out of the
Machete. Machete! No, not
Hi,
that!
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe. You got that other room person. Okay.
Oh, what hair color are you?
I have pink.
Oh.
Okay. So, what have you been doing at school lately?
Sitting in classes, it's exhausting. I wish I could just stay home all day, and because I don't like public schooling.
Yeah, well, I get to stay home all day because I'm homeschooled.
You are so lucky. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
it's so cool. Like, I don't know, I get
What
up
do you
at,
do?
like,
What do you like? Aren't homeschoolers like weird because they're like they don't really aren't they like not social because they're homeschooled?
No, you can join groups and stuff. It's really cool. Like, I go to a co-op on Friday, and we get together with people, and I don't know.
Other
We go
homeschoolers?
to, other
That's cool.
homeschoolers, and we get to do classes together.
Maybe I should talk to my mom about
Machete!
homeschooling next year. No, stop! Dang
On
it!
the axe.
Why did you kill me?
I didn't mean to! You're on my wait, are you on my team?
No, I'm not.
No,
I
okay.
tried to kill you. So yeah, I mean, homeschooling seems kind of cool. Maybe I could talk to my mom about homeschooling next year.
We basically have a pajama day every day,
That's cool.
and homeschoolers are a little bit nerdy. Yeah.
Homeschooling seems cool now.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, like I said, it's like,
I'm not your
still-
baby.
no, you're not. I will. Where is my? All my weapons are gone again. So yeah, you should really talk to your mom. Come on, the axe. What is it with this thing? Okay, you should really talk to your mom about being homeschooled. It's really cool.
Okay, I will.
Seriously, where are these animals coming from?
I
These
don't know.
tigers and stuff.
I don't know.
Hi, and welcome to MCHomeschool TV, where homeschool moms are here to talk about homeschool issues. I'm your host, Cindy. And I'm Julia, and we have a lot of fun in store for you. So be sure to tune in for each episode, as we're going to have lots of tips, tricks, and insider secrets to help you on your homeschool journey. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave it in the box below. We may just use it on our next show. Today, episode number 1, we are going to talk about how we got started homeschooling. I know many of you out there have all kinds of questions and ideas and struggles as to how to get started homeschooling. So we're just going to share you a little bit about our personal story. So Julia, you want to tell me a little bit about how you got started homeschooling?
Sure. This is our 6th year of homeschooling. We actually moved. My oldest son Justin was in 1st grade, and we moved. When we moved, we didn't realize the drive was going to be so long. So for a year and a half, we did this drive of 2 hours a day in the car, 100 miles a day, 5 days a week. And so once we got towards the end of the year, we just decided that this wasn't going to work for us anymore. And we had my husband and I decided before they were even born that public school wasn't an option. So if we couldn't afford Christian private school, then homeschooling would be our only option.
So you, when you say you drove, you were driving to get to where?
To take him to school.
Oh my goodness.
He was still enrolled at the school for the last half of kindergarten and all of 1st grade.
Wow.
Yes. So we did a lot of driving, and we were just exhausted. We spent so much time in the car. So by the end of that, into 1st grade, we decided that we would homeschool. And I had homeschooled my stepdaughter for a year for high school, but that wasn't the same as starting elementary school. And even though he knew how to read and he knew how to do his add and subtract, it was a whole different world that I was diving into.
Yes, absolutely. Now,
you're into 6 years now. So you've been through a number of different things, you know. I'm sure things have changed a lot from when you began, right? So what's one thing off the top of your head that you think has been the best in your perspective from what you've been doing?
The best part for us is that my husband works from home as well, so we're all home together all the time. And for some people, they're like, oh my gosh, I can imagine having my husband home all day with me and my kids home all day with me. And it is a challenge at times. It is, it can be hard at times, but we see it as such a blessing.
Yeah.
I am blessed that my children aren't gone from me 8 hours a day. I'm blessed my husband's not gone to the office 8 hours a day. What's nice is if we have issues that come up, we can handle them right then. They don't have to get pushed off to the back burner or anything like that.
Right.
And we're able to spend more time together. And to me, that's such a blessing. I was a child of a single mother, and I didn't see my mom a lot. Sometimes she worked 2 jobs. So to have everyone home with me, it is a blessing.
So you can kind of say, hey, I can send you to the principal's office right now. We don't have to wait till Daddy gets home.
That's right.
Right, okay, cool. Well, for me, homeschooling was never really on my radar. I put my son, he went through pre-K, VPK, kindergarten, and first grade. And come kindergarten, he really started struggling in school. And I was shocked at some of the reports that were coming home. I'm like, you must have a different kid, because this is not the child I know. He was really having a hard time really fitting in and just paying attention. He was very impulsive, and he was just completely lost. And then first grade continued more of the same. I thought, kindergarten, I thought, well, we just got a bad teacher. This just isn't working. But kindergarten, we had a wonderful teacher, but it was more of the same. And I was constantly being called in for conferences, and they were describing this child that I didn't see at home necessarily. One-on-one was very different than her one on 25 or 30. Right. So it was very difficult. It was very stressful. They hinted around at taking him to the pediatrician and medicating and those types of things, because he was just having a real hard time controlling his impulses and fitting in with the other kids. She said a couple things that really helped me to try to understand him, that he was misunderstood and he misunderstood others. And that he really wanted to please, but he very seldom could, because he was always 3 steps behind, which broke my heart. I wanted to help this child, but I really felt God calling me at that point to take him home. And we were in a type of a charter school where by March or April, they needed to know if we were coming back. And that was a real struggle, and I battled with that back and forth. I turned in the paperwork late, and then I changed my mind. I didn't know, is he gonna come back? Is he not? Is he gonna come back? Is he not? And in the end, I said, nope, he's not coming back. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna figure it out. And I felt a tremendous peace. But at that time, like so many other homeschool moms, I knew one person that was homeschooled. I did not realize how many people in my circles actually homeschooled, because I wasn't part of that world yet.
Right.
And as soon as I said, okay, we're homeschooling, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we homeschool, we homeschool, we homeschool. So I had to sit down and consult with the homeschooler I knew about, where do I start? What do I do? What kind of curriculum do I do? But we are in our 3rd year of homeschooling, and like you, it's been a tremendous blessing, because my son really gets that one-on-one attention that he could not get in a classroom. And I can be very creative with how I teach him, that again, could not be done in a classroom. I mean, I'm sure there's some exceptional teachers out there that can incorporate those things with kids, 20, 30 kids, but for the most part, classrooms, the traditional classroom is set up for sit down, be quiet, get the work done, and that just doesn't work for him. So homeschooling has proven itself to be a tremendous blessing. He is on spot academically. We still have some behavior challenges, but praise God, we don't have to medicate. Absolutely. And I pray that we'll be able to stick with it for the long term. So.
Well, I think that when we start out, when we're called to homeschool, we're not really sure. It could be different reasons. It could be not fitting well in the classroom. It could be like us, just the travel issue. For some people, they just know from the moment their children are born, they're going to homeschool. And a lot of times those people were homeschooled. I think what, in the end, after you go through the process, what you realize is that homeschooling is a calling from God. And He has called us to hold our children's education in the palm of our hand.
Yes.
And it's our responsibility that they get the information that they need. And that's a huge responsibility that I could not take on if I didn't look at it that this was something God called me
Yes.
to do. And I don't know that you'll find a homeschooling mom that doesn't feel the same way.
And they may not in the beginning, but it certainly can evolve to that, becomes a ministry.
Absolutely.
It really does. And you know, one of the things that I love about homeschooling is how much I am learning. Not only about academic things, but about myself, about my son, about myself. It's opened up a completely new world for us. And is it a challenge? Is it a sacrifice? Absolutely it is, but it is so worth it. I cannot imagine bonding with my child the way we do now if he were gone 6, 8 hours a day. It's just not possible. We'd be so disconnected from what is really truly going on in school. And I even recall that just from kindergarten and first grade.
Yeah.
You're constantly having to call in to be informed of what's taking place. Now I know exactly what's taking place.
You know, one of the things for me is if my kid's having a bad day, I know that. And I
Yes.
can address that and we can talk about it. If he's had a bad day at school and then comes home, I don't know what's surrounded that.
Right.
And so it's hard to address those issues and work through them. So again, there's just so many blessings with having them at home.
And I think too, sometimes as children, just the level of maturity, they don't always know what's going on with them,
Right.
why they felt this way, or you know, somebody might have said something, you know, or somebody bumped them and they misunderstood it. You just don't know. They may not even know to be able to articulate it to you well. So having them home and being in touch with that is very, very, I don't know, just a blessing.
Yes. I agree.
Absolutely. So, well, that's it for episode number 1. We have lots and lots more in store for you coming up over the course of this next year. So, hope you enjoyed this. We will be taking Q&A in future episodes too. But for now, Cindy and Julia are signing off, and we will see you next time.